Hey everybody, it's Curly Q Dominican, and we are on week 10 already. So 4 weeks to go before we're done with the program. This 150 hours has really flown by. So let's see. Today we started our week off with testing, as we always seem to. But today we did basic chemistry and nail product chemistry. Well, let me retract that statement partially. I took 2 tests today because I studied for 2 tests. So she was like, do you want to wait till Thursday with the rest of the class? No, 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 no. I put time in for this. So I went on and took my test. I think I did pretty good on both of those. Then after everybody finished with testing, we did something along the lines of a mock board. Last week I got the list of things we're supposed to buy for our practical. It's going to be a little less intense than my aesthetics one simply because there's only one finger for each modality that you have to complete. So, like, we have to do a nail tip blend. It's not all 5 fingers. And it's going to be on a mannequin hand. I'm not feeling it because it just doesn't feel natural. And the fingers are they don't flex very well. So, not too fond of the idea that we have to use a hand with a clamp. Only one out of my 2 hands has the little adapter piece on the end to clamp it to the table. So that'll be kind of interesting. But we basically went through a mock board. We started off with a nail tip blend, which is basically gluing nail tips on all 5 of the fingers and then putting a tip on top of that tip and blending that line of demarcation. So that's pretty easy, and I think we get 15 minutes per modality, except for the red polish, which is at the end. Yes, you have to be tested on if you can polish nails well. Silk wrap came up next, so we did the silk wrap on top of the first nail blend, which those are so easy. The only thing that can mess me up at this point with the silk wrap is if the material bunches up and I don't have any plastic to help smooth that over to make it a little bit better to get the air from underneath it. The part that has me most terrified, yes, that is the word I'm going to use, is the sculptured nail. And I know that sounds so not intimidating, but when you only have 15 minutes and you're not good with it, and we have to use odorless monomer and polymer, which it's totally not the same. I'm sorry. I don't like sculptured nails. I thought it was growing on me. False alarm. So that is the only part that really has me kind of nervous. The red polish is nothing. And the reason why they choose red is because that will show your errors. If you didn't file something correctly, if you didn't buff it, whatever you were supposed to do, if you didn't do it, that red nail polish is going to tell all over you. So that's not too hard. And we get 5 minutes. Got to do a base coat, 2 coats of your polish, and then your top coat. So between the nail tip blend, the silk wrap, and the actual polishing, not sweating any of that. My main thing is the sculptured nail. So I just need to practice that more because the nail forms, and then I'm not sure if we're supposed to wear gloves for the entire practical portion of the state exam. So, those nail forms, when you peel them off, it's like a sticker underneath. So it was sticking to my gloves. It was sticking to everything. I did have one nail tip blend that I filed a little too overzealously crack. And if within that 15 minutes, if you have time to pull it off and start over, you can. But you have to be finished at the end. So a little pressure, little pressure. We have school Saturday this week as well because of the Thanksgiving holiday coming up, which falls on a Thursday. So we're getting an extra day of school in. So if there are test scores you're not happy with, you have an opportunity to retake. I'll be there. I'm there for all of that because the perfectionist in me needs to see at least an A on my paper. That's just me. As far as new stuff that we learned today, it's not necessarily new for me. Having been in the medical field at one point, and also being in aesthetics, anatomy, and physiology is something that it's part of the package. So it's a little bit of a review. Very large vocabulary. Like, whoa, it's like 2 pages worth of vocab. So I'm going to break mine down into sections. But that's all I can really think of for week 10. I'm assuming when we come back on Thursday, we will go further into anatomy and physiology. And I think we're supposed to get into like electricity, which is another review because we had to learn electricity and aesthetics. So that's all I can think of. If you have tips for odorless monomer and polymer to make it easier, drop that in the comments below. If there's a video, if you are a nail technician and you have some sort of like fail safe, ooh, look at my hair, technique, please share that with me. I am struggling. Oh, I still have to do some more smile line work. This pink and white is kicking my butt. It's my favorite style of nail, as I've said before in previous vlogs, but it is not easy to do. That smile line is like the hardest part. If I could get that down packed, then I think I might be all right. So I need to practice UV nails too. I haven't had a chance to do that. So that's it for day 1 of week 10. I will see you guys for day 2. Bye. Hey everybody, it's Curly Cuba Dominican, and it is week 10, day 2. So we're coming up on the horizon of the finish line, thank goodness. Let's see. Today, Thursday, we did testing. The test that the other students took, I took on Tuesday because I studied for 2 different tests, because typically we take them in pairs. So I'm pretty sure I did well on it. I haven't received my grade back yet, but I did make up some tests, or rather I redid some tests, or I wasn't 100% happy with my score. So hopefully better this time around. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't study like I probably should have for those tests. So that's that. With the Thanksgiving holiday coming up, we're gonna have class this Saturday, so it'll be technically week 10, day 3, but this is because we won't be at school on the upcoming Thursday. Today we did a little more A&P, almost closed out the chapter, which is not foreign to me. I've done A&P for several other things I've done in life, which leads me to my rant. I'm going to keep this positive, non-colorful. For those of you who know me, I can be pretty colorful when I have something I want to say, but this is YouTube and I don't feel like bleeping out every other word. How do I say this without being uber negative? Don't let people think that they know you like that. I think that the people in my class think they know me. Y'all don't know me for real. Y'all don't know me for real. Because if you did, you wouldn't say half the stuff you say to me. And you would know that I'm wearing a very tight filter when I'm at school. Because I do not bite my tongue. I'm not one for mincing words. I do say what is truly on my mind. Sometimes it is a little blunt, very straightforward, and that's not for everybody. And you know what? I'm cool with that because I'm not everybody's cup of tea. And I'm going to leave it at that. But just don't think that you know me. That's all I'm going to say about that. I'm not going to mention any names or anything like that, but just you don't know me like that. And then we just practiced more of the board stuff, walking through the practical. It wasn't time today. It was more of just kind of getting the skill. Again, for me, the nail tip blend in the bag, silk wrap in the bag, polishing in the bag, but that sculpture nail with that odorless monomer and polymer, that's going to be the one. That one. That's the only thing I'm really worried about. Sculpture nails are beautiful. I tip my hat to the technicians who offer those, and they have a skill that they are just tuning, pumping it out. Maybe one day, I'm remaining optimistic. Also today, my teacher seemed a little taken back by my work. I did a full set square short for my best friend Tiffany. Shout out to the bestie for staying up with me until 2 in the morning doing nails. Yes, that was late. Yes, it was a weeknight, and we were both very tired the next day. But we started late, and of course, little girl talk in there. So, but again, I posted her nails on Instagram, so you can go there and look at them. But that was pretty much it. She seemed pretty surprised. There was one area where maybe I could have got a little bit closer, but it's that confidence. And I'm going to touch on that too in just a second. But just that confidence of getting really close to the skin and not grabbing them with the drill bit. Because anybody that's had their nails done at some point, you've been bitten by a drill bit. That's the way I like to call it. You were bitten. But the technical term is grabbing. And it doesn't feel good. And that's my best friend. And the last thing I want to do is like draw blood on her or hurt her. Because we've all had it. I've had nail technicians tear up my cuticles with the buffing block or getting a little too close with that drill bit. So, that.